Will you play the new Gollum game? No. No, I won't. I won't. I wanted to. Gollum was something that my friends asked me about, and they were like, "Why do you even want to play this game?" Like, Gollum was just something that was just. I was just morbidly curious about this game because Gollum has such a tragic story that I wanted to experience as a huge Lord of the Rings fan. I just wanted to be in that world again and see how they presented the story. But then I saw Gollum, and I know this is gonna sound bad, but even before like all of the issues and everything, like I looked at Gollum, and Gollum is so ugly. I can't stand it. Like I know that Gollum is supposed to be ugly, but it's not ugly in like a physically ugly way. Like I would have been fine with a little ugly Gollum because that's what Gollum is. I liked Gollum. I liked it. But this Gollum is just like, what the hell is that? Like I was looking at the footage, and like some cutscenes are like flickering, like the light is literally going on and off, and Gollum's hair is like appearing and then disappearing and then appearing again and disappearing again. It's like, what year was this game made in? I'm not a game developer. I have a lot of appreciation for a lot of effort that people put out, but I'm offended by the audacity to put up a game like that online in front of the overly critical community already and call it a friggin' game, you know? And then I discover that they put this mode of like companion mode or whatever, which is supposed to be uh, just given in any like adventure game or whatever. Like it's just supposed to be something that you have. Like imagine playing Near Automata and having to pay to have a Grimoire Vice walking around next to you. Would you pay for it? Okay, bad example, bad example. I probably would because Grimoire Weiss. But, it's bad. And then, do you know what the companion is? The companion is a bird. A bird that Gollum is hatching and like trying to teach it like how to bring things or whatever. Gollum would not hatch a bird. Gollum would snap that bird's neck in a second and eat it raw. Gollum would never do this. It's like, why do they put things in the game that actually don't fit the story and the narrative at all? It makes me so angry. The thunder sounds close. It is close. It's been really bad for the past like couple of days, and I'm just very happy to be living in a building so that I don't like have to worry about basically my house being hit. It has happened to me before, and that's a very very scary thing. We're trying to get Rex to play it, like for a meme, or you actually believe in this game. It's actually a shame the game is so bad. It could have been quite an interesting idea for a game. Yes, it could have been. It could have been like this representation of a misunderstood villain, who you develop like a lot of sympathy for, and you discover what the story was like from his perspective. Like imagine, like to me that game represented a cool idea that I think if they made like a Maleficent game, like the way they made movies, if they had made a Maleficent game, and Maleficent is one of my favorite characters, like I think that would be so cool. Like those, like it would be in like this idea is in the range of that idea for me. I think it's a fantastic idea to make a Gollum game and to make it ugly. Like you can make Gollum ugly. Like I don't care. Gollum is not supposed to be pretty. Gollum is Smeagol who turned Gollum, and it's fine. And it's like I don't understand why it can't be ugly but looking good. You know what I mean? This is grotesque. Like I don't know how else to describe it. It's just not good. It makes me uncomfortable to see it. And the game glitches so hard. It's like I'm looking at footage of people with the top end graphics cards and everything, and their game glitches kind of like the way my PC was glitching in 2015, trying to run 2015 games with I don't know, with the 2007 software and hardware. It was bad. Or the meme actually playing, he just doesn't know yet. Oh god. Could have been great exploring his split personality and everything. Yes, like the dialogue could have been insane. The scenes where he switches from like one of the personalities to another. There's so much to explore. The combat could have been better because Gollum is someone who doesn't really do like a lot of weapons, but he is someone you are afraid of. Like if you meet Gollum in a dark alley, like you lose your shit because he's unpredictable. He's like like he's someone to you worry about. And like what I've seen from the combat, it's just not good. Like I said this yesterday, I'm not a big complainer when it comes to the games. The game doesn't have to offer, I don't know, the moon and the stars for me to be happy. Like I just like having fun in games, Like I don't really care if a story has a few flaws, if there's a glitch here and there, but that game is just wild. Almost makes fun learn how to program games. Like honestly, I think lately with all of these apologies and everything that's been going on, I think a lot of us have just been, I don't know, continuously having to learn more and more about how things in games work, which never used to have to be the case. Like we used to just buy a game and we didn't know how the game was made. If you paid for it, it was probably good because people back then didn't have the balls to put out a game that people would trash them for because the games couldn't be patched, right? And now that the games could be patched, I feel like it serves as an excuse to just put out anything because people who set these deadlines, they don't care about the first impression. They're just like, okay, let's put out a game and then this is the first update, this is the second update, this is the third. Like they don't shift these deadlines anymore so that the game comes out like it as a proper kind of product. They just like see it as some sort of a beta version, and it's annoying. I think I will just play Battlefield Middle Earth, both parts if I want real Lord of the Rings game. I actually never got to play it. They made just a bare-bone game and they just milked it. Yeah, exactly. It comes out half-baked. It is milking, and honestly, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Like, I'm just literally for the past couple of years, we've just been sitting here watching how they serve us an apology after apology after apology, to the point that now these apologies have entered an internal competition on who's going to use the least PR language, who's going to resonate the most with the players, and of course, who's going to have the prettiest background on their, apology post or whatever. How about you just make the game look nice instead of making your apology post look nice? It's disgusting. It's so annoying. Anyway, time's running out. With the bronze temple under attack, temporal energy is seeping out everywhere. That probably can't be good. The Time Walkers place collectors all through this forest trying to gather all the errant magic. Anything collected can also be used as extra power, which is a good thing. This crisis is draining all our resources. I was supposed to retrieve the collectors, but still need a moment to catch my breath. Could you get them for me?
Did we do it?
I don't think we have a choice.
We make a good
I'm in a
team.
bottle. Great. The Time Walker staff intact, but it's definitely drained. I know. You can recharge it using the temporal energy coalescing around wildlife here. Unfortunately, that means defeating affected creatures in the forest. The energies were making them dangerous and unstable, and we would have had to cull the population after anyhow. Sometimes you have to sacrifice for the greater good. Could you help? I still need a minute.
I know I can.
She's like, I still need a minute, and then she immediately gets up. Amazing. She could have helped us. What's Kerbal Space Program? I've actually never... is it embarrassing if I say that I've never heard of the game? Like, I always feel... feel weird about saying this because I'm literally making it my life's mission to know about games, and then I'm like, what game is this? I think you should learn Unreal Engine 5 and make the Gollum game we all wanted. See, that's the sad thing, in my opinion, about a Gollum game. No one initially ever even wanted a Gollum game to begin with, and I stand by this. However, I don't think that that's I don't think that that's an excuse for making a bad game. I think. What's a time energy? Oh, that's something I need to collect. Never mind. I think that we could have all gotten on board with a Gollum game if a Gollum game turned out to be something that we ended up like being interested in, you know? I don't know how else to say it. It's a weird niche idea to get players to want to play this little thing, you know? But we know that he has a good story, and it would be so cool. It would have been so cool to actually explore this story, but no. You know, it's annoying. Amazon had no intention of getting gamers to like them, so they hired some random German developer. Is there something about German developers that is I don't know that that is bad, or these ones are just actually German? I don't think it has anything to do with like where the developers come from, but if they really are just hired just for this project without actually showing any sort of like I want to say credentials or passion for this project whatsoever, then I can see totally how this game can go sideways. Absolutely. The devs are German. They usually are focused on really well made point and click style games. Oh, I see. See, I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know much about game development. I don't know which things, like, certain developers like to focus on or whatever. I know a little bit about the way the Japanese develop games, just because I'm a fan of mostly JRPGs and play a shit ton of them. So I see, which things they focus on, which tropes they like to use, and how they design their games. And I trust my chosen studios to do their job well, and they do it. But when it comes to Europe and the States and like all the other developers, I don't really have like a trusted developer who I go to. I mostly don't trust anyone.